Welcome again, ladies and gentlemen. I've been using the stand-up desk now for several weeks, and it's worked very well. Matter of fact, to the point where I seldom ever, as a matter of fact, have not in 2 or 3 weeks now, put it down in the sitting position. I just use it standing up. Now, that's very helpful to me. I feel a lot better doing it this way, but I thought I could go a step further. I spend a lot of time working, as I'm sure you do. And I thought there's got to be a way that I could get some exercise while I'm grading or doing whatever. And so I decided to get a treadmill that would fit underneath the desk that I could walk while I was working. Okay? So I ended up going on eBay after quite a bit of research, and I found Best Choice Products black 500-watt portable folding electric motorized treadmill. It only cost $172.95 delivered. I found another one that was specifically made to go under desks, but it cost $1,000. I thought $1,000 was a little too expensive to spend when I might not be able to do this with great regularity. It might be too much for me. So I decided to start with the $179 model. So what we're going to do next is show you how to assemble that, take it out of the box, and get it put together and actually get it working. Treadmill, it's come, and you can see the box it came in. So what we'll do is go ahead and get it open. And I'll slide this over a little bit so we have some room to maneuver. A few pieces to take out, a lot of styrofoam. I'm going to hang on to that. I'm going to need it later. Get rid of the styrofoam. The first part we're going to take out, well, we have bags of parts. We'll need some of those parts in a little bit. The first part is the handle. And so we're going to take the handle off and take it out of its bag. Now you can come on over closer. And what we want to do is take the control mechanism so that we can do something else with it. Okay? Because we obviously don't want it attached here to the handle because we're not going to be able to use the handle. And you'll notice the cord coming out. Now, I'm just going to take this piece of handle off because we're not going to be using that. And I'm going to go ahead and turn this over. But you notice the cord coming out. That's part of the system that we're concerned with. And what we need to do, you'll notice that there are 2, 4, 6, 8 screws down in here. So we need to take those screws out. Just takes a simple Phillips head screwdriver. And with a little bit of luck, we'll get these out. And my magnetic screwdriver pulls them out, and so we'll set those down where we can find them. I've taken out all 8 screws. Before I take off the piece, let me show you one other thing. You'll see the cord coming out here. We need to remove this grommet so that the cord can be pulled through because we need access to the wire. So I'll just disconnect that. We don't need the grommet anymore. Now what I'm going to do is just pull the cover off now that I've taken the screws out. And what you'll see is, if I turn this over and lift it up like so, you'll see that the wire goes through this hole and out the side. So I need that wire pulled through. Pull it through. And now what I'm going to end up doing is using this separate from the handle, because I don't need the handle anymore. And I'm just going to screw it all back together again. And then I'll be able to lay this on my desk and connect it to the other wires. So, and now we've reassembled the control. And we have the piece we need there. So for the time being, I'm just going to put it here. That's where it's going to end up at. Now, we need to remove a couple more pieces out of the out of the box. And we have two arms that would connect to the arm. I'm going to take them both out only to keep them out of the way. But what's really important is this one, okay? Because you'll notice it's got one connector on one end and another connector on the other end. Okay? So what I need to do is literally pull that through, and you'll see it goes through a grommet here. If this handle were used, this is where the wire would go through so that the connector could work with the motor at the bottom of the unit. So what we're going to do is remove this. Okay. Let's get rid of the grommet. And with a little bit of luck, we can just feed this wire through, like so. Once it's inside, then we should just be able to pull it all out. And a little bit of luck, it won't get caught. And it didn't. So that worked really well. Now you'll notice this end has a connector like a telephone, and this end also has a connector like a telephone. So what we're going to do is just connect those two together just the way you would hook your telephone together. This end down here is going to plug into the treadmill to tell the motor when to start and how fast to go and all. So we're just going to leave it dangled down here for the time being. Now, next thing, we need to get rid of some of this stuff because we actually need to get the treadmill out of the box. And just set stuff down. Now again, this is kind of heavy. The whole piece weighs about 60 pounds. This particular piece probably is about 45 or so. And so make it a little bit easier. And when it comes out, try and get this straightened out a little bit so you can see. And you'll notice that it's got a frame, a metal frame on it. Get that out of the way. And it has an electric plug. And then it has the connector that control wire that we just saw earlier is going to connect to. And it has an on-off switch. So the first thing we're going to do is get rid of the bag. Let me move this stuff out of the way so we have a place to put it. Because we have one thing we have to screw in with it. Actually, I'm going to have to flip it over one more time. And what we're interested in, if you notice right here, we have a connector, bracket, and there's a screw that I'm looking for. It is this. Okay? It's a big, massive screw, because what we're going to do is adjust this base so that we can screw this in and lock it into place. Now again, if you were using this as a treadmill separate from a desk, this would be one of the ways you would fold it up and stand it upright. But what we're doing is locking it in place so that it'll be where we need it. Okay. The only other thing we need to do is unwrap the electric wire, and not too much magic there. And what I'm going to do now is simply put it under the desk. Now because we have a tile floor in our condo here, and we don't have carpeting. What I'm going to do is use this cardboard to keep the machine off of the floor, and that way we're less likely to cause any marks or damage on the floor. And with a little bit of luck, I can do this while my wife is videoing everything. And that other piece of stiff board, it's a little stronger than cardboard, will go under the back. I'm putting it at a little bit of an angle because of the way I have my monitor. And now I'm going to have, all I have to do is connect this wire to that, and then plug in the box in the back, turn on the on switch, and then I'll show you how it works. Well, we've gotten the stuff straightened out. You'll notice that here we've gotten the plug plugged in from the controller. We have the electric plug plugged in. The wire to the controller comes up and comes in over here on the side, and we're ready to start. Okay, it does provide you a very small amount of silicone fluid to put on the underside of the tread to keep it flowing smoothly. And more importantly, it sends you this magnet that's included in the packet. Without the magnet, the thing won't run. Now, you should probably clip the clip to your belt in case you slip, but I'm only walking, I'm not running. Okay? And so in order to activate the system, you need to put the magnet on the thing. Okay? And then you can press the start button. And it gives 3 seconds before the belt starts moving. Belt's moving now, and it's moving at 1 mile an hour. I'll press the 2 button. That'll take it up to 2 miles an hour, and then the plus, and I'll put it up to 2.5 miles an hour. I simply stand on the edge, and then when I'm ready, I put my foot down and start walking. Okay? Now I'm ready to go back and do my grading, and at the same time that I'm grading, I'm getting a little bit of a workout. Okay? So, and I find that I can do most everything except try to conduct a seminar. I find it hard to walk at 2.5 miles an hour and conduct a seminar at the same time. Now, when I'm ready to stop, I can do one of 2 things. I can just step off, like so. Or, if I'm really lost in what I'm doing and really working, this machine stops in 1 hour. It gives you a beep, and then about 2 seconds later, the tread stops. So when you get to that point, you know you've walked for an hour. It does tell you the distance and it's based on your speed. And I should mention, if you pull the plug, everything stops, as it should. And I measured the angle of this. You're not able to adjust the incline on this, but it has a 5-degree incline, which is about 4.5% grade. So again, you can't adjust that part, but I suppose you could put some kind of a wedge or block under it if you wanted a higher incline. But I find this level of incline is fine for me, especially if I walk for an hour. Now, at the end of an hour, I'll normally take a break. I'll go sit down for 10 or 15 minutes, get something to drink, relax a little bit, and then come back and do it all over again for another hour. And so far I've done 3 consecutive hours that way. And just whatever it takes to get the grading done. Now, any time that I don't want to be doing the walking, I can just simply stand here and do the grading the same way. Or when I conducted my seminar, I can do the seminar. I don't want to be walking while I'm doing the seminar because it puts me out of breath and they can hear me, and you've got the sound of the treadmill in the background. So I would just be standing here and I'd be using my headset, which, wherever it is, right here. So I could be doing my seminar. They'd hear what was going on and I could see everything on my screen. So basically that's a way to get a little bit healthier than you might be otherwise, especially if you spend an awful lot of time. Thank you very much.